Hello everyone. Today's webinar is going to be all about accessibility with an early preview into the current state of MidPoint. We will quickly go over what term accessibility means and what it means for MidPoint as we have started to focus more on it. We will take a look at how the result of our cooperation with the university specializing in this topic has helped us with and what it has brought to MidPoint. We will briefly describe the initial main problems found and the solutions implemented for them. Then we will briefly show how the screen reader can serve the environment with greater ease than in the past. And finally, we will end the webinar with a discussion with you and talk about what interests you about this topic. First question is why accessibility matters. I'm sure most of you already know what accessibility means, but I'll give you a quick introduction. I will start that accessibility is all about making sure everyone, no matter their abilities or disabilities, can use digital stuff easily. What's cool is that people are different. Accessibility is like a superhero that helps everyone. And whether someone needs pictures or easy to understand words or a special way to click buttons. Imagine a digital world where everyone can join the fun. That's what accessibility is all about. It creates a space where everyone, no matter what they are good at or find challenging, can be a part of things. It's like making sure nobody gets left behind in our digital world. There is a term, WCAG, which stands for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. It's like a big guidebook made by smart internet people from the World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C for short. It helps web developers and content creators make digital content that everyone can use, especially those with disabilities. And at its core, WCAG is about breaking down barriers in the digital realm. It gives clear rules to follow, making sure our online world is easy for everyone to use. By following these rules, we make our websites, apps, and online stuff super friendly for people with disabilities. These guidelines uses a three-tiered approach to ensure digital content is accessible to a wide range of users. These levels are often referred to as A, AA, and AAA, and they together provide a roadmap for creating inclusive online experiences. Level A is the baseline, covering fundamental accessibility requirements. Building upon level A, there's level 2, which adds additional criteria to enhance accessibility. And level AAA sets the highest standard for accessibility. What we are aiming for is to make MidPoint self-service comply to level AA for start, which means we have to optimize the MidPoint according to all relevant level A and AA guidelines. Yet, it's crucial to understand that the more complex rules we aim for, the more limitations we may encounter in shaping the user interface. Thanks to the NGI Zero initiative, we have been connected directly with an university that specializes in accessibility, and thus we can consider this as the beginning of the focusing on the WCAG application into the MidPoint. They have formed a small test team that consists of designers, developers, and accessibility testers that will be available for us. And after introducing MidPoint to them, we received a very important file which with the results shortly after. And we called it as a Quickscan. It includes first basic and fundamental set of rules that were tested on a self-service part of MidPoint. And during the process, they checked for the most common accessibility issues, which represents mix of level A and double A guidelines. Unfortunately, the conclusion of the first scan is that the MidPoint application can't be used by people who use a screen reader. The main issues are insufficient use of contrast, non-labeled elements, and the fact that the site is only partially accessible by keyboard. A total of 11 major problems, mainly incorrectly programmed elements, poorly used elements, or even missing features, and 49 problems with the contrast were identified, and those together make it very hard for users to work with MidPoint properly while using the screen reader, of course. However, most of the problems have been solved very easily. So far, we have successfully resolved a significant portion of the initial issues we received. And here you can see a breakdown of what we've accomplished. First of all, we added a link accessible only by the keyboard, which will be the first to be highlighted after using Tab key when the page loads. Its purpose is to shift focus to the main content, allowing users to skip the navigation and big blocks. We've upgraded also forms slightly, and so we linked all fields with their corresponding labels, ensuring that screen readers announce the correct input fields. Next on the list is that we found several elements that were not reachable by keyboard, and now we are able to get focus on them. We have also solved almost all color contrast errors to meet at least 4.5 to 1 ratio, which should enhance visibility. MidPoint might appear slightly darker as a result now. Also, the menus were modified in a way where we fixed the attributes in the elements inside, mostly roles, role tags, which resulted in the screen reader being able to navigate through the menu correctly. We also implemented and fixed additional area features to enhance the screen reader experience. And last but not least, from the list of all issues, we defined highlights on all active elements, providing a clear visual indication of the current focus. I might say that not all of you may understand what this means, and so I will try to illustrate it visually for you. We will start lightly, and so on this slide, you can see the login screen in the before state on the left and the after state on the right. What you are looking at is the result of the analysis from the tool called Wave, made by WebAIM, that analyzed the page against the base/main guidelines. And in this easy example, you can notice the changes in the environment, especially what has turned green. Labels are now connected to their inputs, area features are present, and important color contrast issues were fixed. As I said, we started lightly. Now we'll take a look at the profile page. Take note that the tool doesn't care over what the results look like, but focuses on the evaluation visuals. This is a before state. Notice the red and orange labels. These are the most important metrics that tell us what's wrong. You can notice 35 errors, 21 contrast errors. You can see all the labels inside the environment. This is state after. A lot of green means a lot of good, yet I know the statement may not be entirely accurate, but we wanted to demonstrate that numerous features have been added and they are generally found useful by screen readers. You can notice the errors were reduced, also contrast errors, features were added, and a lot of area features were also added. Now, I will try to show you MidPoint in combination with Screen Reader Live. The scenario will be very simple. Our task will be to log in and change our password. In between, you can observe and listen to what and how the screen reader will talk. Keep in mind that in the previous version, it was way more chaotic and there were a lot of missing features, element attributes, descriptions, and texts. Now we'll be hearing the assistant, the screen reader assistant.
Share sound, checked alert, login, Google, login to your account main landmark, username edit blank.
We can go
Password
further.
edit protected has auto-complete selected. Sign in button. Recover your identity visited, register new account visited link, change language. Currently selected language is English visited link. Expanded. Sestina visited link, Deutsch visited, English visited link. Login to your account main landmark. Username edit blank, has autocomplete.
Okay, so we fill in the username, the password, let's log in.
Sign in button, home, clickable visited link, skip to main content. Skip to main content visited link.
Here you can notice the skip to main content button, which will show after the tab key. Using the tab key, it will take our focus and bring it to the dynamic window, to the main content window, so we can skip the navigation buttons, but we go through the navigation.
Navigate breadcrumb menu link, changing the language menu item. Button logout menu item. Current navigation landmarks. Currently logged in user. Username, JSmith description, manager region, currently logged in user. Navigation, current page home link, current page home menu item, profile link menu, credentials link menu, request access link menu item.
And so on.
Credentials
So we go to
link
the credentials.
Alert credentials document, main landmark, current password edit protected blank.
Now we can try to show, we can try the main skip link. I will go to the top.
Credentials, skip to main content visited link.
To main content, I will skip all the menu on the left side.
Main landmark. Main landmark.
Here.
Current password edit protected has
password. Let's change it.
Show hide. Password edit protected has auto. Show. Repeat new. Show hide password. Please enter a hint different from your password edit blank. Change. Repeat new password edit protected has autocomplete selected.
And you can listen to the password requirement
password
here
edit
also.
Protected has autocomplete selected. Password requirements characters at least 5 unique characters at least 3. Password requirements characters at least 5 unique characters at least 3.
So we can go to change the password.
Change password on individual systems. Change password link. Alert password requirements. Alert save password success. Close button. Alert result is shown in password propagation table. Close button. Password requirements list completed requirement characters at least 5. Button 1 of NVDA menu.
So that's for the demonstration. Let's go back to the presentation. We've arrived to a slide where, with the conclusion, as a result of our efforts, we have once again tried to improve MidPoint in another new direction. It's important to say that this was not just about tech upgrades. It's like we've opened a new chapter for MidPoint, the one that's all about inclusivity, innovation, and the commitment to eliminating barriers. For now, we are starting from the basics, but I believe that soon in the next releases, we will be able to say that self-service no longer contains any accessibility issues. Take this as the kickoff of making MidPoint way cooler. We are not just meeting the rules, we are sort of changing the game to make sure MidPoint is for everyone. With better accessibility, we want the work with MidPoint to be fun and straightforward for every user, no matter what. It's not just about getting the job done, it's about making sure everyone enjoys doing it. We are saying no to exclusions and trying to create a place where everyone feels welcome. Discrimination doesn't have a place here. Thanks to the opportunity we got from this journey, we got to know new talented people who are happy and willing to contribute. What's also cool is that many parts of the code are getting a second chance thanks to accessibility improvements. This means that there is another chance to improve the code of the components and the places where they are located. And so the code can become better and cleaner. The first Quickscan helped us to see how MidPoint is doing. And now we are gearing up for a new version of Quickscan to find even more issues. Also, I want to note that initial scan checked rules up to version 2.1 of the guidelines, but while we were fixing new version, 2.2 was added. And there are fresh rules we also might need to look into. So looking ahead, there's important work to be done. We realize that the current request access flow is lacking the WCAG standards. So we are looking forward to making it more accessible in a close future. Work is already underway to improve elements like the date picker and CAPTCHA, as they are not quite right in their current state. And additionally, our ambitious goal is to enhance certifications, and we hope to achieve it soon. Apart from what was mentioned earlier, there are still many processes that are waiting to become easier to use, like password reset, identity recovery, self-registration, and many more. We understand that the journey to accessibility is more of a marathon than a sprint, and despite ongoing improvements, we acknowledge there are and will always be some challenges, but we want you to know that we see and hear you, and we are dedicated to put in our best efforts. Before we arrive to an end of the webinar and continue with the discussion, I would like to draw your attention to some exciting upcoming webinars my colleagues are putting together. I'm personally really looking forward to the webinar about the request access on February 22nd. So I have nothing left but to express a big thank you to everyone for coming and a big shout out to my colleagues for their excellent organization. I hope I didn't put you to sleep, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this session was useful for you and shed some light on how MidPoint is turning up its charm. So thank you very much.